won't you say something? No running, you got me thinking about the state I'm in. Going back to that place we met. Yeah, I've been feeling lost somewhere deep within. No, I can't turn back, I need that grin, that loving.
Today I am driving the Porsche GT3RS, and that's extremely exciting for two reasons. One, it's a Porsche GT3RS, and two, this might very well be my next car. Now, this vehicle needs no introduction. It's the rawest, meanest, most track-focused Porsche currently available. And with the release of the upcoming GT2RS, that means GT3RS prices are declining, meaning this car is a better deal than ever before. When the 2016 Porsche GT3RS was initially released, the markups were crazy, and I mean extremely crazy. So get this, the base MSRP of a new GT3RS is $178,250. But in a desired color, like ultraviolet presented here, the cars were going for more than $100,000 over sticker. And in paint to sample custom colors, the prices were even higher than that. So how is it that a car that costs $178 grand was for sale for $350,000 plus, even if somebody had already driven it off the lot? Well, that's because it's a Porsche, a limited edition track-focused Porsche. Now, the crazy part is the GT3RS actually wasn't all that limited in reality. Between 2016 and 2017, they made 6,500 of these worldwide. That's actually more per year than a Lamborghini Huracan or a Ferrari California T. But the trend is simple. Porsche releases an R or an RS car, the price absolutely skyrockets. People are selling their slots on a GT2 RS, which hasn't even come out yet, for over $150,000 over sticker, just for the slot. Then they come out with the mid-cycle refresh or the brand new R or RS model, and the old version starts to decline. However, the exceptional Porsches, like the last generation 997 GT2 RS, climbs back up again, even with the release of the next generation. The GT2 RS that preceded the one that's about to come out, you could find those 3 years ago for $200,000. Now, a look around, all of them are above 400 grand. I do have to give a very special shout out to O'Gara Coach in Westlake, California for making this video possible. This exact GT3 RS is available there now at such a good price, I almost don't even want to give them a shout out because then somebody's gonna go to the dealer, buy the car, and it won't be available for me any longer. But before we take this GT3 RS out for a spin, let's go over some of the differentiating factors between this and a normal 911. Now, of course, we've got the massive front air intakes and brake cooling ducts, but the biggest differentiating factor of this versus a normal 911 or the GT3 is the presence of these menacing fender vents. Other than the fact that the fender vents look simply badass, they are of course functional as well. The actual fender is made from carbon fiber to save weight, but the vents themselves actually add to the downforce of the car. Now, how is that possible? Well, as the wheel spins at speed, it creates turbulent airflow underneath the wheel arch right here. But thanks to these fender vents, the air is actually allowed to escape outwards, which doubles the downforce in the front of the car over one without it. How crazy is that? And because we have twice the downforce in the front, that means we can have a bigger wing in the rear to balance out the aerodynamics of the car. All in all, this leads to an increase in downforce of more than 2 times over the previous generation GT3 RS 4.0. If you look closely, you'll notice at the front of the Porsche, the badge actually isn't a badge at all. It's just a sticker. That is to save weight. The GT3 RS is one giant summation of weight savings. Take a look at the roof, for example. Normal roofs made of aluminum or steel, or in some case carbon fiber, that wouldn't work for the GT3 RS. In fact, it's made of magnesium sheet metal that allows it to save 2.2 pounds over a carbon fiber roof. How ridiculous is that? Even the rear deck lid and spoiler are made of carbon fiber to save weight, and the crankshaft, yes, the crankshaft is made of lightweight materials used in the Porsche 919 race car to further save weight. Come around to the side and you'll notice something very unique and a little bit confusing about the GT3 RS, and that is the presence of these side intake vents. Now, normally, this is a great way to spy a 911 turbo model. These air intakes are used to feed air into the intercoolers for the turbocharged car. In fact, the GT3RS shares a body shell with the 911 turbo to allow it to have a wider track. But since there's no intercoolers for the turbos, what is this for? Well, for the GT3RS compared to the GT3, they wanted more airflow, and thanks to these fender vents, we now have laminar airflow instead of turbulent flow that's able to be sucked straight in here as a ram air effect into the intake manifold. In fact, if you're driving the car with the windows down, the initial depression on the gas, you can actually hear the air get sucked up into the engine. Makes the coolest noise. Because of these vents, before the GT3RS was released and they just had Nürburgring spy shots, people were assuming that the new RS was going to be turbocharged. Well, it isn't the case. They saved the turbos for the GT2 RS. Around back, we have a massive rear wing. It's made of carbon fiber to further save weight, and more than that, the actual uprights for the wing have been hollowed out for additional weight savings. Below that, we've got a dual center exit titanium exhaust that produces some of the most glorious sounds of any car ever made. And that's coming from a 6-cylinder. Well, it is no ordinary 6-cylinder. Pop the rear deck lid here to reveal, well, one of the most anticlimactic engine bays ever to be presented on a car. Porsche is really good at doing that. But it is a 4-liter naturally aspirated flat 6 that revs all the way up to 8,800 RPMs. I actually get excited just thinking about that. 8,800 RPM. And it produces 500 horsepower and 339 pound-feet of torque. Now in today's world, 500 horsepower, that doesn't sound like all that much. Now one, Porsche says this is very, very conservative. It's probably something on the order of 520 horsepower. But regardless, remember, Porsche is the manufacturer, the king of using every last ounce of power in the most efficient way possible. Now, this car only weighs 3,150 pounds. Couple that with the brilliant gearbox, traction control management, and launch control means that the GT3RS can hit 0 to 60 in 3 seconds flat. I'd say that's plenty fast. All right, enough about the outside of the GT3RS. Let's hop inside, shall we? Hop on in the inside and the trend of weight savings continues. It's very much like your normal 911, although you have more carbon fiber, more Alcantara, and less leather. Get this, here's a crazy weight savings fact for you. For $2,300, you can opt for a lighter lithium-ion battery that'll save you 30 pounds. 30 pounds for $2,300. Don't like listening to the radio? Well, that's good, because that will save you 17 pounds if you get the radio delete. Air conditioning, maybe you live in a cold place. I cannot imagine deleting the air conditioning in any place where you'd normally drive a GT3RS, but you can get rid of it to save an additional 26 pounds. Now this car, it has AC and it has radio, and I'm quite thankful for both of those. Even the door handles aren't door handles. That's right, normally you'd have a nice aluminum door handle to pull on, but in the GT3RS, we have a strap so that you can save weight. You simply pull on the strap. It works the same as a normal door handle, only it's lighter. There's even a fire extinguisher in case, well, you catch on fire at the racetrack. Porsche has got you in mind. Although, wait a minute, this seems like it would add weight, so probably don't need this. The biggest thing missing in this interior that you'll notice lots of GT3RSs have is the presence of a roll cage. Now that's true with all US spec GT3RSs. None of them have roll cages. Now why is that? That's because some silly US regulation decided that in the cabin of a vehicle, there cannot be a non-deformable object that will injure a person's head if their head were to come in contact with it when they're not wearing a seatbelt. Well, you could just wear a seatbelt since that's the law and that wouldn't be an issue, but unfortunately that regulation made it so you can't have a roll cage in US spec GT3RSs. That being said, there are a couple aftermarket companies that for not all that much money will build you a custom roll cage, maybe you can even do it in ultraviolet purple like this car, to put it in the back. But because you don't have a roll cage, there's actually a ton of space back there. You've got plenty of space up in the front trunk, but behind the rear seats, you've got enough space for 15 watermelons. I made that up. I have no idea how many watermelons will fit there, but seems like a lot of them would. All right, well, I think it's time to take this for a drive. What do you think? The second you get behind the wheel of a GT3RS, you can tell there's something special about it. The incredible noise it makes on startup, the brutality of the suspension, the vibrations through the wheel and through the seat. It just makes it one of the most pleasurable driving experiences of any vehicle. Now, speaking about the suspension, it's very much the same as that on the normal Porsche GT3. Although the track is widened by 50 millimeters in the front and 50 millimeters in the rear, so we do have to use some new components. The electronically controlled dampers have been retuned for the GT3RS, of course, more intense, more track focused. Now, the suspension is harsh, really harsh, but that's what makes it so good. You can feel every undulation in the road, every little vibration, so that you have that connection between the tarmac, the tires, from the tires to the wheels, from the wheels to the steering to your hands, and then to your brain. It's almost telepathic the way it all comes together. Now, the best part of the GT3RS is the driving experience. Porsche is the king of making engaging, incredibly fun to drive sports cars. Yes, it's fun to have the car that goes around the track the fastest, but if you're not having fun while doing it, and you're not a professional race car driver, what is the point? What is the point of buying a GT3RS? Sure, some people buy it to brag about its Nürburgring time, or others because it's the coolest new toy on the block. But for true enthusiasts, people like you and me, and clients that Porsche wants driving their cars, it's all about the experience. It's all about the enjoyment behind the wheel. And that's what Porsche has created with the RS. Now, funny enough, part of that enjoyment does come from the PDK transmission. In the 991 GT3RS, the only transmission available is an automatic. That's right, you cannot get a manual, you cannot get a clutch pedal, only an automatic. However, Porsche's PDK system, the 7-speed double clutch gearbox, is incredible. Even in automatic mode, the Pdk Gearbox knows exactly what to do on the track, although I would never drive my GT3RS in automatic mode. If we put it over into manual, we click the Pdk Sport button so that shifts are a little bit faster. Things get incredibly interesting. The shifts happen faster than you can blink. Honestly, upshifts and downshifts are so quick, it feels like by the time you've actually moved your hand into the position to squeeze the shift has already actually happened. Now, there is something truly special about rowing your own gears. It's part of the reason why the Cayman GT4 is so much fun. That manual gearbox is to die for. But at the end of the day, the GT3RS is supposed to lap the track as fast as humanly possible. And the best way to do that is with the Pdk Gearbox. A 7-speed manual is just not going to compare. No human can shift as fast as this gearbox can. Now, does that make it any less fun? Well, that is, of course, up for debate. I will say, however, that most people that complain about the Pdk, that complain about the GT3RS not having a manual, are the people who haven't driven a Porsche GT3RS whatsoever, or a Porsche with a Pdk transmission at all. But hey, there is something fun about driving a stick shift. Yes, it's not the fastest car in a straight line in the world, but all of that goes out the window the second you take your first corner at speed in the GT3RS. The levels of mechanical grip that this thing possesses are staggering, and a lot of that is due to the wheel and tire setup, as well as the aerodynamics and downforce. Of course, we've got double the downforce in the front due to those fender vents. We've got the massive stationary rear wing out back that produces 760 pounds of downforce at 125 miles an hour. 760 pounds of downforce. That's a lot. Another component of the GT3RS's staggering levels of grip is the wheel and tire setup that happens to be the exact same as the Porsche 918 Spyder. And of course, that isn't a coincidence. The 918 Spyder that was able to do a sub 7-minute Nürburgring lap clearly is capable of putting down some fast track times, so they put that similar setup in the GT3RS as well. That means front tires, 265, 35, 20, and in the rear, we actually have 21-inch wheels, 325, 30, 21s, wearing Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2s, the stickiest tire in the world. Now this car, the thing about the Sport Cup 2s is because they're so sticky and soft, they get worn really, really quickly. Because this one is used, the owner had replaced the tires with Pilot Super Sport. But honestly, all it takes is throwing this through one corner and your mind is blown how much grip it truly has. I love this thing. I talk a lot about cars that feel like they shrink around you as you drive them faster and faster. Now, it's not like the GT3RS is a big car. In fact, it's a very small car. It weighs just 3,150 pounds. But the RS feels like it shrink wraps around you. It is the lightest, nimblest, most agile feeling car on the market that can put down this type of lap time. And with the two giant wheel arches, one on either side, it feels like you've got crosshairs to just annihilate the road ahead of you. The RS is so easy to place on the road, it's actually staggering and just an absolute downright joy to drive. You'd be hard pressed to find a car that puts a bigger smile on your face the entire journey as a GT3RS does. Now, how about we take a little moment of silence and just listen to that flat six. Oh my God. How can you not love that noise? Well, with that, driving the GT3RS has been an absolute pleasure. This car is incredible. The levels of grip are staggering. It's just a stunning car to look at, plain and simple. Yes, it's aggressive, it's crazy, but it's still beautiful. It's still a Porsche. The sound is intoxicating. The feel of the steering, the suspension, everything works together in such harmony. The GT3RS is amazing. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next video.